grade. Mr. Hahn here coming to you live from bright, sunny Illinois. Today, boys and girls, for math extension, we are talking about slope. You should have this sheet. Maybe Mrs. LeBeau gave it to you, or I did, but this is basically what we're going to be chatting about here. So if you want to pull that out, get yourself ready for a fast and exciting ride. So let's jump right in here. First of all, slope. I already gave you kind of a whole bunch of info about slope. Basically, we're talking about lines. And like it says here, slope is a comparison of the rise over what's called the run. In other words, it's a comparison to how far up or down something goes compared to how wide it is. Okay, and the very first thing before we talk anything about slope is we have to understand, like kind of when you're skiing, you know, they say you hit the slopes. Okay, we must understand from left to right, okay, if I am going uphill is a positive slope. It is a plus slope. You would not be able to ski on a positive slope because unfortunately we have this thing called gravity, and gravity doesn't pull you up, it pulls you down. But so then you need to know from what is good for skiing is from left to right when it goes downhill, that's a negative slope. Okay, negative slope. So slope is a fraction. You don't have to, if it does come out to be a whole number, you can leave it as a whole number. You don't have to leave it as a fraction if it does, but generally speaking, it's going to be a fraction, as you can see. So if you are looking to find slopes of lines, let's take a look down here. Okay, well, let's take a look back up here. How did they find the slope of this line is 3/2. That's because basically what they did was this. Okay, if you find 2 points on a line, let's say I pick this point and this point, they have to cross X and Y. You know, you have to be able to give a coordinate of that. Okay, if you pick those 2 points and you make a right triangle out of those 2 points, so you go straight over from one and straight down or up from the other, and you make this triangle, the slope is how high or how tall that triangle is here. From here to here it is 3 tall over how wide that triangle here, which is 2. And since it's going uphill, it's a positive slope. We don't have to put the plus there, but this triangle here is 3 high, 2 over. It's the comparison of how high the rise over the run, so the slope ends up being 3/2. It's not a complicated thing, but it's another thing people seem to struggle with. If you take a look at your notes, I think you'll have an easier time with it. So we've got all these examples here. Let's start off with line A. If I wanted the slope of line A, the slope of line A, the first thing I have to do is identify places where, and it doesn't matter what two you pick, identify places where line A crosses an actual coordinate. See, I couldn't use this point here because there is no y value at that point. It falls in the middle of here. So you want to pick a point, for example, I'll pick this point here because I can give that coordinates, -2, -1. And then I'm going to follow that line till another one I see, and let's call it right there at the origin. I then need to make a right triangle out of that. So I go straight across and I go straight down, and here is my right triangle. It is going uphill, so it's positive slope. I don't need to write that, but I will for y'all. And again, slope is how high. How high is this triangle? It's only 1 unit high. Over how wide is this triangle? It is 2 units high. So this has a slope of positive 1/2. Line A has a slope of positive 1/2. Well, let's do red because line B is red. If we're looking at line B, again, line B line B is going uphill, so it's a positive slope. I'm going to look for a couple of points. Now, just to show you that it doesn't matter what two I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick this one up here because it hits there. And let's go with the origin again. So I'm going to make a triangle out of that. And if you don't understand how to make the triangle, all you have to do is go over from a point and down from the other point or up from the other point. For example, look, I will pick this point and I will go over. I will pick this point and I will go up. Then you'll see they meet at a right angle, and this is my right triangle that I am going to use to figure out what my slope is. And my slope is, how high is my triangle? So from here to here, that's 4 units high. That's my top number. Over how wide my triangle is, which goes from here to here, it's 2 over. Okay, so I get the fraction 4 over 2. I do need to reduce it. It does reduce to 2 over 1, and I can just write that as a positive 2 slope. A positive 2 slope for line B. And then let's do line C, a shade of green here. Doesn't matter what 2 points you pick, I will pick this point, and I will pick this point. I will then proceed to make myself a little bit of a triangle out of that. Again, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm going to go across here. I'll go down here and make a right triangle out of those 2 points. And line C, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to green. If you look at line C, it goes downhill from left to right, so it's a negative slope. And then again, how high is my triangle? It's 2 high. Over how wide is my triangle? It's only 1 wide, so my triangle has a slope of -2 or -2 over 1, which is the same thing. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you. By the way, in math, a lot of times you'll see slope. They pick the letter M, and I don't know why. In math, a lot of times we designate slope as the letter M. So if you see that letter M, a lot of times that is the letter we use for slope. Just for fun, I should draw one more line, just because we have a little bit of time and a little bit of space here. Let's see if I can get a line here. Let's say I have a line that goes from here let's do it from here to here. Let's pick one more line just for fun. So here we go. Let's call it line D because we've used all these other ones. So here's line D. And I'll do it right over here just because we got some room over here. Line D. First of all, line D is going downhill, which means it's a negative slope. I'm going to find myself a couple points on line D. Let's just use the two that oh gosh, I used an easy one here. I thought I was going to make it hard and I made it easy. Here's a point and here's a point. I go down and I go over from one. What is my triangle? It is 1 high over 1 wide, which means it has a slope of -1. I'm going to do another one just because. How about this? Let's start here. And let's pick a point. Let's pick this point right here. Oops. I didn't want that last one, but that don't matter. One more just for fun. Okay, so here we go. This time, boys and girls, this time I have a point here. And I don't find, no, I guess it does cross the origin there. Let's do that. Here's my origin there. Getting a little mucky in here. Let's see my triangle. I'm going to go across here, down from my origin. Here's my triangle. What do we call this line? Let's call this line, I guess it's line E. And line E, if you look at it, how high is my triangle? First of all, it's positive slope going from left to right. It's 3 units high. And how wide is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So line E has a positive 3/4 slope. We will be doing many, 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 many things with slope. So we will revisit this. Hopefully that was fun. Maybe we'll have a little, I'm sure there's an IXL site that I'll look up for you.